let's talk about the cycle of cell. Since we were talking about the cycle of cell, we are going to understand about that as well. So we talked about the various phases of the cell, and the phases means a lot. So what is a cell cycle? A cell cycle is the cycle of the cell in which it is the life of the cell. It is a sequential changes occurring in the life of the cell is known as cell cycle, and it is a successive division of the cell. So this is called as cell cycle. And while knowing all of this about the cell cycle, the thing that comes to our mind the most is why is cell cycle necessary, and let's understand about that as well. Cell cycle is necessary to make your life better or to make the being exist for longer, for the survival of the fittest. If one cell continues to live for a long duration, its efficiency would drain. That's why new cells require to be formed every time the cell cycle occurs. Now, cell cycle is not permanent. Some after the division of the mitotic division, some cells do not perform the cell cycle. So they do have two type of option to remain as the cell and do not configure to any type of changes or to change themselves. And their changing nature comes from this thing. How? So that they do change that their thing by not performing the other phase, not doing the interphase. After the mitotic division, the daughter cells are formed, they do not continue the chain, hence leaving the cell cycle. But at the end, they do require to mitotic division, right? But the one that do not perform the cell cycle are your cardiac, the neurons, because they have less regenerative capacity. That's why. Also, while knowing about the cell cycle, let's understand what's in it. Inside the cell cycle are its various phases. Now, the phases are the M phase and the G0 phase, G0 phase, the G1 phase, the S phase, and the G2 phase. So, what is the M phase? M phase is a division phase, mitotic or meiotic division, or meiosis division. That's what I'm trying to say. After that comes the G0 phase. G0 phase is a rest phase in which no cycle occurs. No cell cycle occurs there. And after the G0 phase, the G1 phase here. The G stands for the growth phase. In this, the nuclear membranes and the plasma membrane they all start to duplicate. So they are synthesized. In the G1 phase, they are synthesized. The cytoplasm grows after a cell division. It is a growing phase. So the cytoplasm grows, the membranes are formed. Also, synthesis of various energy molecules also occurs in this type of phase. So this is the G1 phase. Now after the G1 phase, the S phase occurs. What is the S phase? S phase is a synthesis phase in which DNA duplication occurs. DNA duplication is required to give the right amount of DNA to the offspring as well. If one divides into two and if only 2023, that is the ploidy remains as haploid and not diploid in the both of organisms, they will not be able to reproduce. That's why to give them both the right pair, the cell requires duplication. And duplication occurs in the S phase. In this phase, the synthesis phase, the histone protein is also formed, which is used for binding the chromatin together. Thank you.